AudioBooksTube is glad to produce, publish, and offer The Secret to Ignoring Reality and Becoming Super Rich, Neville Goddard's Law of Assumption by Sage D. Esotreasure. You've stumbled upon this video amidst a sea of distractions for a reason. The universe has a curious way of guiding us toward the paths we are meant to explore, nudging those who are ready to uncover their true potential. However, it's essential to acknowledge that not everyone will embark on this journey. Only those on the brink of something extraordinary, those eager to unlock new levels of success, will remain engaged until the very end. If you're feeling a stirring deep within, a sense that you're destined for greater achievements, then this message is directed toward you. In today's discussion, we're delving into the essence of what it means to be a true winner. We'll explore how some of the most accomplished individuals in history have harnessed these very principles to transform their lives, and how you, too, can adopt these strategies. By the conclusion of this video, you will possess a profound understanding of the mindset and actions that differentiate winners from the rest of the crowd. You will learn to harness the power of resilience, the invisible force that underpins every significant breakthrough. Additionally, you'll discover how to adjust your daily habits to align with the success you've long envisioned. But wait, there's even more. Hidden within the mindset of every winner is a secret formula for achieving goals that most people overlook. This formula is the key to unlocking doors that many don't even realize exist. Stick with us, and you may uncover insights that could irrevocably change the course of your life. This isn't just another run-of-the-mill motivational video, it's a challenge, a rallying cry to step into the most authentic version of yourself, the one you've always known exists within. The journey ahead may not be smooth, but you are better equipped for it than you realize. If you weren't ready, you wouldn't have found us today. By the time we wrap up, you will understand exactly why. Before we delve into the specific traits that characterize winners, let's take a moment to consider something even more fundamental: self-belief. Without this cornerstone, no amount of talent, knowledge, or hard work can propel you forward. Believing in yourself is the foundation of any genuine transformation. And here's the catch: the very fact that you've discovered this video signifies something meaningful. It's a signal that you're either already on this path or ready to embark on a journey of believing in your immense potential. You may have heard the saying, winners are not born, they are made. But what does this truly signify? It begins with self-confidence, not the kind that manifests in boastfulness or loud declarations, but the quiet, unwavering belief in your ability to achieve more. Consider the successful individuals you've encountered, the ones who consistently meet their goals. Do you believe they arrived at their success without ever experiencing doubt? Absolutely not. Many have faced countless failures, yet there exists a spark within them that refused to extinguish their belief in their potential. This same energy is what has drawn you to this video today. Reflect on the moments in your life where uncertainty took hold. Did you retreat in fear, or did you muster the courage to push forward? Winners aren't devoid of doubt, they simply choose not to allow it to define their path. When you nurture a deep-rooted belief in yourself, it transforms your response to challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as indications of inadequacy, you come to see them as opportunities for growth. The more you embrace this growth, the more your confidence flourishes, creating a dynamic cycle of self-belief and accomplishment. Interestingly, the mind doesn't always require concrete evidence to begin believing in your potential. Sometimes, the act of believing itself is sufficient to manifest the evidence. This might seem perplexing, but think for a moment. How often have you observed someone succeed not because they were the absolute best, but because they believed they could succeed? That distinction separates those who give up from those who persevere. It transcends mere skill, it resides in mindset. Your continued engagement with this message is proof that, on some level, you possess the mindset of a winner, even if you don't fully recognize it at this moment. The desire to achieve more is alive within you, and that marks the crucial beginning of your journey. You may carry doubts and fears, but none of these weigh heavier than your capacity to trust in your potential. The very act of clicking on this video signifies that a part of you is ready to absorb this message, and that's not a mere coincidence. So, what does this mean for you right now? It signifies that you're already ahead of the game, simply because you've taken the initial step. You're actively seeking knowledge, inspiration, and guidance. Winners do not wait for the opportune moment or for conditions to be perfect. They forge ahead even amid uncertainty because they believe they can navigate whatever challenges lie ahead. That's what sets them apart, and that's precisely why you are still watching, because something within you resonates with this truth. Now, let's get real for a moment. Self-belief doesn't materialize overnight. It's not like flipping a switch to suddenly feel invincible. Rather, it is cultivated gradually, step by step. It is nurtured each time you face a challenge and refuse to succumb. Each time you tell yourself, "I can do this," even when you're unsure of your abilities, you are reinforcing your self-belief. Think of some of the most renowned figures in history: Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk. What common thread binds them? It was not merely their talent or luck. It was their relentless belief in their vision, even when the world doubted them. Steve Jobs was ousted from his own company, yet he maintained unwavering faith in his potential. Oprah faced a myriad of setbacks and rejections before ascending to one of the most influential positions globally. Elon Musk endured ridicule for his grand ideas but persisted, propelled by a conviction that he could change the world. These stories are not unique because they are the only ones who faced obstacles. They are exceptional because of their ability to persevere, to continue believing, even when the odds were stacked against them. That's the power of self-belief. It grants you the resilience to press onward, to push through adversity, no matter the challenges in your path. And here lies the magic: when you believe in yourself, others begin to believe in you as well. Confidence is contagious. People gravitate toward authentic belief, not arrogance. They witness your self-assurance in your demeanor, your speech, and your actions. When you exude belief in your success, others start to perceive you as someone destined for greatness, and opportunities arise in unexpected ways. But it's crucial to remember, it all begins with you. It starts with the choice to trust in your own potential. You have the power to shape your destiny, to step into the life you've always imagined. As you nurture your self-belief, you'll find that the universe responds in kind, opening doors you never knew existed. Your journey towards self-discovery and success is just beginning. With each step you take, you are creating a foundation for a brighter future. Embrace the challenges, cultivate your self-belief, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. In conclusion, your path may be filled with uncertainty and obstacles, but these are merely stepping stones on your journey to greatness. Remember that winners are not born, they are forged through resilience, belief, and unwavering determination. As you continue to explore the depths of your potential, know that you are not alone. The universe is conspiring in your favor, guiding you toward the success you've always dreamed of. So, take a moment to reflect on your journey so far. Acknowledge the doubts and fears, but don't let them define you. Instead, let your self-belief propel you forward. You have what it takes to unlock your highest potential, and this is just the beginning. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. The choices you make today will shape the tomorrow you desire. Embrace this opportunity, and let the journey unfold. Believing in yourself is not just a catchphrase, it's the bedrock upon which winners build their dreams. It's about committing to your vision, even when the path ahead is clouded with uncertainty. Those who excel don't wait for external validation or reassurance. They have an unwavering faith in their abilities that propels them forward. This is the first step in a long journey towards success. You might be wondering how to cultivate this self-belief. The answer is deceptively simple. Take it one small step at a time. Begin by setting manageable goals. The act of achieving even the smallest targets can significantly enhance your self-confidence. As your confidence grows, you will find yourself more capable of tackling larger challenges. It's a gradual process, but one that yields profound rewards. Right now, you stand at the threshold of something much bigger than you may realize. The mere fact that you're here, engaging with this message, demonstrates that you're ready for more, ready to embrace the mindset of a true winner. You don't need anyone else to affirm your capabilities. The knowledge of your potential is already within you. Now it's time to take action and prove it to yourself. Before diving into the tangible outcomes that winners achieve, let's address a crucial aspect: action. No matter how strongly you believe in yourself or how clear your vision might be, without taking action, nothing changes. The distinction between those who flourish and those who falter often hinges on this fundamental truth. Winners do not wait for ideal conditions. They do not waver or get trapped in endless deliberation. They take decisive action, even amidst uncertainty. This proactive approach is what propels them forward. Think for a moment about your own goals, whether they pertain to your career, personal life, or health. How often have you postponed taking action, waiting for the perfect moment? Perhaps you felt you needed everything to align flawlessly before making a move, or maybe you thought you needed more preparation. However, here's the reality: the perfect moment doesn't exist. The only time that truly matters is now. Winners recognize that waiting for ideal conditions often leads to perpetual stalling. Instead of hesitating, they choose to act. They understand that taking action, even if imperfect, is far superior to inaction. Each step they take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, brings them closer to their objectives. Here's the crux: action generates momentum. Once you begin, it becomes easier to maintain your forward trajectory. The hardest step is often the first one, but it is also the most crucial. Reflect on your current situation. Are you actively working towards your goals, or are you still waiting for the opportune moment? Assess the actions you've taken recently. If you find yourself falling short of your aspirations, it's likely because there's a disconnect between what you know you should be doing and what you're actually doing. It's simple to dream, plan, and discuss your desires, but action is what ultimately creates results. Many individuals find themselves trapped in the planning phase, believing they need to map out every detail before taking the first step. However, winners don't require a complete roadmap. They comprehend that action leads to clarity. As you begin to move, you will learn, adapt, and refine your approach along the way. Waiting for everything to be perfect means passing up opportunities and squandering valuable time. The most successful people you admire didn't possess all the answers when they started. They didn't wait until they felt entirely ready. Instead, they took action, learned from their missteps, and adjusted their course accordingly. Progress is achieved through action, not through overthinking or procrastination. Taking action doesn't imply that you won't encounter challenges or setbacks. On the contrary, you will. Winners understand that taking action, even if it results in failure, is an integral part of the journey. They view failure not as an endpoint but as feedback. It is merely a component of learning and growing. Each time you take action, regardless of the outcome, you gain invaluable experience that equips you to improve. Over time, these small steps accumulate, generating momentum and propelling you closer to your goals. If you find yourself hesitating, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Often, it is the fear of failure or the fear of the unknown that holds us back. Yet, winners embrace these fears. They understand that the only way to conquer fear is to act despite it. Taking action may not eliminate fear, but it fortifies your resolve against it. The more you engage in action, the more resilient you become, and the less power fear wields over you. Now, envision where you aspire to be in 6 months, a year, or even 5 years. Are you on track to reach those milestones? If not, what actions can you initiate today to start moving in the right direction? These actions don't have to be monumental. Even small, consistent efforts can yield substantial results over time. The essence lies in consistency. Winners take action daily, even when motivation wanes. They understand that success is built upon daily habits, not sporadic bursts of effort. Sometimes, the most challenging aspect of taking action is simply getting started. The enormity of your goals or the obstacles ahead can feel overwhelming. However, winners break their aspirations into manageable steps. Rather than fixating on the end goal, they concentrate on the next step. Once they accomplish that, they progress to the following one. This straightforward strategy makes even the most daunting objectives seem achievable. Furthermore, remember that taking action is not solely about doing more, it's about doing the right things. Winners do not occupy themselves with busy work for the sake of appearing industrious. They prioritize actions that align with their goals. This requires a strategic mindset, ensuring that each step taken is a deliberate move toward their desired destination. It means discerning what truly matters and discarding distractions that do not contribute to their progress. In conclusion, the path to self-belief and success is a journey marked by action. As you cultivate your confidence and embrace the challenges ahead, remember that every small step counts. Winners understand the importance of consistent effort, strategic planning, and resilience in the face of adversity. The road may be fraught with uncertainty, but each action you take brings you closer to realizing your potential. You are capable of achieving greatness, and the time to start is now. Believe in yourself, take decisive action, and watch as your dreams materialize before your eyes. The power to change your life lies within you, and it begins with a single step. Embrace this journey with open arms, and you will find that the universe aligns with your efforts, paving the way for success. Every journey towards success begins with a single step. If you find yourself struggling to take that step, it's essential to focus on one actionable item you can accomplish today that will inch you closer to your goals. It doesn't need to be monumental, it just has to be a step in the right direction. Once you identify this action, execute it without delay. Don't wait for a burst of motivation to wash over you or for the stars to align perfectly, just initiate that first step. After you take one action, follow it up with another. Before you realize it, you'll begin to build momentum, and the once murky path to your success will start to crystallize. Remember, those who succeed take decisive action because they understand that change is forged through effort. They don't sit idly, relying on luck or waiting for opportunities to materialize out of thin air. Instead, they actively create their own opportunities by engaging, learning, and adjusting along the way. This is the defining characteristic that sets winners apart from everyone else. As you reflect on your goals, ponder this question: what is one action I can take right now to move closer to my desired destination? Whatever it is, start today. Just take that first step and continue moving forward. You don't need a complete roadmap or a polished plan, you only need the courage to begin. Winners recognize that action is the key to unlocking their potential, and now it's your turn to embrace this truth. Before we delve into the ultimate rewards of success, we must confront a fundamental reality: challenges are unavoidable. Every winner, regardless of how accomplished they appear, has encountered adversity. In fact, It is often the ability to overcome challenges that defines a true winner. It's not the absence of difficulties that elevates someone, it's how they respond to the inevitable hurdles life throws their way. When confronted with challenges, winners do not view them as insurmountable obstacles. Instead, they see them as valuable opportunities for growth and development. Each challenge presents a chance to learn something new, to bolster their resolve, and to push beyond their previously perceived limits. In this sense, challenges act as catalysts that reveal strengths that would have otherwise remained dormant. It's easy to remain within the confines of comfort when circumstances are favorable. However, true growth occurs outside of that comfort zone. Reflect on the last significant challenge you faced. How did you respond? Did you let it overwhelm you, or did you rise to meet the moment? Winners understand that setbacks are not permanent. They regard each challenge as a temporary hurdle rather than an insurmountable wall. They approach these situations with a solution-oriented mindset, focusing on how to move forward instead of dwelling on the problem. A resilient mindset is crucial for navigating adversity. Winners are mentally prepared for tough times because they understand that challenges are an intrinsic part of life. Rather than being blindsided when difficulties arise, they expect them and equip themselves to confront them head-on. This mental readiness can make all the difference. It enables winners to remain composed under pressure, think clearly, and make strategic decisions even when faced with significant obstacles. It's vital to recognize that challenges are not punishments or indicators of failure. Rather, they are opportunities for personal growth and evolution. Each challenge you encounter offers you the chance to develop resilience, adaptability, and problem-solving skills. Winners welcome these opportunities because they know that with each challenge they conquer, they emerge stronger on the other side. There may be times when challenges feel overwhelmingly daunting, tempting you to throw in the towel. But winners understand that persistence is the key to overcoming adversity. They keep pushing forward, even when the odds seem stacked against them. They don't surrender when the going gets tough. Instead, they persist, confident that breakthroughs are often just around the corner. This unwavering determination is what distinguishes winners from the rest. One of the most critical lessons when grappling with challenges is that you don't have to face them in isolation. Winners surround themselves with a supportive network that can help them navigate through difficult times. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a close circle of friends, having people who believe in you and can provide guidance is invaluable. Winners recognize when they need assistance and are not afraid to seek help. Another vital component of overcoming challenges is learning to shift your perspective. Instead of fixating on the negative aspects of a situation, winners seek the silver lining. They ask themselves questions like, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I use this challenge to grow?" This positive outlook doesn't mean ignoring the reality of the situation. It simply means choosing to focus on potential gains rather than losses. Additionally, winners understand the significant role self-talk plays during challenging times. The way you communicate with yourself when faced with adversity can dramatically influence your response. Negative self-talk can drain your energy and instill feelings of defeat before you even begin. In contrast, winners engage in positive self-talk, reminding themselves of their strengths, past successes, and their inherent ability to overcome obstacles. This empowering internal dialogue keeps them motivated and aligned with their goals, even when the journey becomes arduous. Challenges often unearth qualities within us that we may not have recognized before. In the face of adversity, you may discover inner strength, creativity, or perseverance that you didn't know you possessed. Winners view challenges as opportunities to unlock new potential within themselves. They do not shy away from difficulties, rather, they embrace each challenge as a chance to grow and evolve into a better version of themselves. Moreover, winners recognize that challenges can lead to unexpected opportunities. Sometimes, the obstacles we encounter can redirect us toward paths we never would have explored otherwise. What may initially appear as a setback could, in fact, serve as a gateway to something even better. Winners remain open to these possibilities and flexible in their approach, allowing them to transform challenges into opportunities. Take a moment to reflect on the challenges you've faced in your life. How have these experiences shaped you? What lessons have you gleaned from them? Winners continually reflect on their journeys, using each challenge as a stepping stone toward greater success. They don't linger on past failures. Instead, they concentrate on how they can leverage their experiences to improve and move forward. Additionally, winners practice gratitude, even during tough times. They understand that challenges, while difficult, are a part of the broader journey. Rather than yearning for an easy path, they appreciate the growth that arises from facing adversity. This mindset of gratitude fosters positivity and resilience, allowing them to maintain an optimistic outlook even when circumstances seem unfavorable. As you encounter your next challenge, remember that you possess the power to overcome it. You have faced difficulties before and will undoubtedly face more in the future. However, with each challenge you encounter, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Winners do not flee from challenges, they confront them head-on, fully aware that they are integral to the path toward success. Embrace the challenges that come your way as opportunities for growth, learning, and self-improvement. Acknowledge that each obstacle is a part of your unique journey. Instead of fearing challenges, welcome them with open arms. Allow them to teach you valuable lessons, enhance your resilience, and contribute to your personal development. Success is not defined solely by the absence of challenges, but rather by how we navigate through them. So, as you embark on your journey toward your goals, commit to taking action, embracing challenges, and cultivating a mindset geared for growth. Remember, every small step you take, every challenge you face, and every lesson you learn contributes to the magnificent tapestry of your life story. And as you weave this story, let it be one filled with determination, resilience, and a willingness to grow beyond your perceived limitations. With every challenge you overcome, you inch closer to realizing your dreams and unlocking the full potential that resides within you. Let this be the moment you choose to embrace the journey ahead, transforming every setback into a setup for an even greater comeback. So, step forth with courage, take action without hesitation, and remember that every challenge is not just a hurdle but a stepping stone toward your ultimate success. You have the strength, the vision, and the capability to create the life you desire, one decisive action at a time. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to be incredibly wealthy, to have more money than you could possibly know what to do with? What if I told you there's a transformative method that suggests you can achieve just that by simply changing your thoughts? While it may sound too good to be true, stay with me because we're about to delve into a concept that could profoundly alter your financial reality. We're talking about Neville Goddard's law of assumption, a potent idea that posits you can literally think your way to wealth. I know what you might be thinking. Come on, that's impossible. You can't just wish money into existence. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking incredible riches might already reside within your mind, waiting to be harnessed? That's precisely what we're going to explore today. Consider your financial situation for a moment. How often have you stared at your bank account, feeling that familiar sinking sensation in your stomach? How frequently have you stressed over bills, debts, or the lack of funds to enjoy the things you truly desire? We've all experienced that frustration. It can feel suffocating, trapping you in a cycle of anxiety. But what if there were a way to escape this financial prison? What if you could liberate yourself from money worries and step into a life filled with abundance? This is where Neville Goddard's law of assumption becomes relevant. This principle doesn't hinge on luck, winning the lottery, or discovering a magical money tree. Instead, it focuses on a much more powerful force, the astonishing capacity of your mind to shape your reality. And trust me, once you grasp this idea, everything could shift for you. Are you ready to uncover a method that could skyrocket your wealth? Are you open to the notion that your thoughts could be the very key to unlocking the riches you've always dreamed of? If so, prepare for a thrilling exploration, as we're about to dive into a concept that challenges everything you've likely learned about money and success. But if you stick with me, you might just stumble upon the secret to becoming extraordinarily rich, and it all begins in your mind. The mind-blowing notion we're discussing today revolves around disregarding your current reality and instead believing in what you desire. I know, it sounds a bit wild. After all, we're often taught to be realistic, to analyze facts, and to make decisions based on what we can see and touch. But what if this very approach has been holding us back all along? When you survey your current financial landscape, what do you see? Perhaps a pile of bills sits on your table, or maybe your bank account balance isn't what you hoped for. You could be stuck in a job that underpays you, and every glance at these circumstances doesn't exactly evoke joy, does it? But here's the pivotal question. What if you chose to focus on something different? What if you decided to believe that you were already wealthy, that money flowed to you effortlessly and abundantly, and that you are a magnet for financial opportunities. I can almost hear your thoughts, but that's not true. I can't just pretend to be rich. And you're partly right. We're not talking about mere pretense or deluding yourself. Instead, we're diving into a much deeper and more potent realm, the realm of changing your core beliefs about money and wealth. According to Neville Goddard's law of assumption, what you accept as true becomes your reality. It's not about ignoring the facts. It's about choosing which facts you want to focus on and embrace. This isn't just some airy-fairy idea. It's grounded in the understanding that our thoughts and beliefs directly influence our actions, attitudes, and ultimately our results. Consider this. If you believe you're terrible with money, what typically occurs? You might avoid checking your finances altogether. You may indulge in impulsive purchases because, after all, why save when you feel destined for financial struggle? You could also pass on opportunities to invest or make more money simply because you doubt your capability to handle it. These actions stem from your belief, which only reinforces the idea that you're bad with money. Now, what if you flip that belief? What if you consciously chose to believe that you were exceptional with money, that you were a financial genius waiting to be unleashed? How would this transformation impact your actions? You might find yourself diving into books about investing, seeking out ways to increase your income, or making more thoughtful spending decisions. Bit by bit, these new actions driven by your new belief could begin to construct a new financial reality for you. This is the essence of the law of assumption. It's not about denying reality. It's about consciously selecting which reality you wish to create for yourself. When it comes to achieving remarkable wealth, this idea could be the paradigm shift you've been waiting for. Now that we have a foundational understanding of the law of assumption, let's explore it more deeply. At its core, the law of assumption states that whatever you assume to be true will manifest in your life experience. In simpler terms, your assumptions about yourself and the world around you shape your reality. It's as though you're constantly broadcasting signals to the universe, which responds by delivering experiences that correspond to those signals. So, how does this relate to wealth? Think about the common assumptions many people hold about money. Money is hard to come by. You must work extremely hard to be wealthy, or rich people are just lucky. These are the kinds of beliefs many of us carry, often without even realizing it. According to the law of assumption, these beliefs are actively creating our financial realities. Here's the exciting part. If negative assumptions can produce negative financial circumstances, then the opposite holds true. Positive assumptions can yield a positive financial reality. Imagine starting each day with affirmations like, "Money flows to me effortlessly," "I always have more than enough," or "I am a magnet for wealth." According to the law of assumption, if you genuinely believe these statements, your reality will begin to shift to reflect these new assumptions. You might be thinking, but that's not how the world works. You can't simply think yourself rich. And you're right, to an extent. The law of assumption doesn't advocate for sitting on your couch. dreaming about wealth while expecting it to materialize out of thin air. Instead, it emphasizes transforming your foundational beliefs about money and wealth, which in turn alters your actions and decisions. When you assume you are wealthy, you start to think like someone who is wealthy. You begin to make decisions with the mindset of a wealthy individual. You learn to spot opportunities that align with your financial goals. Gradually, these shifts in thought and behavior can lead to tangible changes in your financial situation. This is precisely why the law of assumption stands apart from conventional approaches to wealth creation. To effectively implement this law in your life, start by examining your current beliefs about money. What assumptions do you hold? Identify any negative beliefs that may be limiting your financial growth. Once you've recognized these limiting beliefs, consciously replace them with empowering assumptions that align with your desired reality. Next, practice visualization techniques to reinforce your new beliefs. Imagine yourself living in abundance. Picture the lifestyle you aspire to have, complete with financial security and freedom. Allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with achieving your financial goals. This immersive experience helps anchor your new beliefs in your subconscious mind. Additionally, take inspired action in alignment with your new assumptions. When you genuinely believe you are capable of attracting wealth, you'll naturally gravitate toward opportunities that reflect this belief. This might mean pursuing new investment avenues, seeking mentorship, or simply being more mindful of your spending habits. Remember, change takes time and consistency. You may encounter moments of doubt, but it's crucial to remain steadfast in your commitment to shifting your mindset. Surround yourself with positive influences and continue to reinforce your beliefs through affirmations and visualization. Over time, as you consistently apply the law of assumption in your life, you'll likely begin to notice significant changes in your financial reality. Opportunities may arise that you never imagined possible. You might find yourself more open to investments, networking, or business ventures that align with your financial aspirations. As you navigate this journey, remain patient with yourself. Transformation isn't instantaneous, but the cumulative effect of your consistent thoughts and actions can lead to remarkable shifts. Embrace the challenges that arise as part of your growth process. In conclusion, becoming extraordinarily rich is not merely a matter of luck or external circumstances. It starts within your mind. The law of assumption invites you to examine your beliefs about money, challenge the limiting narratives you've internalized, and consciously choose empowering assumptions that align with your financial goals. By changing your mindset, visualizing your desired reality, and taking inspired action, you open yourself to a world of possibilities. Remember, wealth is not just about monetary value. It encompasses freedom, security, and the ability to live life on your terms. As you embark on this journey, embrace the power of your thoughts, for they are the architects of your reality. Have you ever fantasized about being filthy rich? Just imagine having more money than you can even fathom, enough to live the life you've always dreamed of. Sounds enticing, right? Now, what if I told you that there's a transformative method that claims you can achieve this simply by shifting your mindset? It might sound absurd, but stay with me. We're about to delve into something that could revolutionize your life. We're discussing Neville Goddard's law of assumption, a profound concept that proposes you can literally think your way into a state of wealth. I can almost hear your skepticism. That's unrealistic. You can't just conjure up money from thin air. But here's the twist. What if the gateway to unimaginable riches lies dormant in your mind, just waiting to be tapped? That's precisely what we're here to explore today. Take a moment to reflect. How often have you gazed at your bank account and felt a knot of dread in your stomach? How frequently have you worried about bills, debts, or the inability to indulge in life's pleasures? It's a familiar scenario. We've all been there. It's overwhelming, anxiety-inducing, and can leave you feeling trapped. But what if there's a pathway to liberation? What if you could free yourself from financial burdens and embrace a life of abundance? Enter the law of assumption. This isn't about winning the lottery or stumbling upon a mythical money tree. It's about the staggering power of your mind to reshape your reality. Trust me, once you grasp this concept, it can change everything. So, are you ready to unearth a strategy that could potentially elevate your financial status? Are you open to the idea that your thoughts could be the missing key to unlocking the wealth you've always envisioned? If you're nodding along, then buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey that challenges conventional beliefs about money and success. If you stick with me, you just might uncover the secrets to becoming incredibly wealthy, and it all begins in your mind. The groundbreaking notion we're tackling today revolves around disregarding your current circumstances and believing in your desires instead. I know this might sound a bit eccentric. After all, from a young age, we've been conditioned to be realistic, to assess facts, and to base our choices on what we can see and feel. But what if this very mindset has been the anchor weighing us down? Consider this. When you examine your financial situation, what do you see? Perhaps you see piles of unpaid bills, a bank balance that doesn't inspire confidence, or a job that undervalues your worth. Each time you confront these realities, how do you feel? Chances are, it's not a warm, fuzzy sensation. Now, what if, instead of fixating on these obstacles, you chose to believe in something entirely different? What if you decided, against all odds, that you were already wealthy, that money flowed to you effortlessly, like a magnet for financial opportunities? I can almost hear your rebuttal. That's delusional. I can't just act like I'm rich when my bank account says otherwise. And you're partially correct. We're not discussing mere pretense or self-deception. We're diving into a profound and transformative belief about wealth. If you're enjoying this audiobook and finding value in the content, we kindly ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. A large portion of our listeners and viewers haven't subscribed yet, and by doing so, you'll help us grow and continue bringing you more high-quality audiobooks. Your support means a lot to us, and it's just one click away. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stay connected and never miss out on our latest releases. According to the law of assumption, what you believe becomes your reality. It's not about ignoring the truth, rather, it's about selecting which truths you choose to embrace. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's grounded in the understanding that our beliefs shape our actions, attitudes, and, ultimately, our outcomes. Let's break this down. If you believe you're bad with money, what follows? You might avoid examining your finances altogether. Impulse purchases might seem justified since what's the point of saving? You could miss out on investment opportunities, convinced you're not capable of handling them. This belief-driven behavior only reinforces your identity as someone who struggles with money. Now, flip that narrative. What if you started believing that you were financially savvy? Imagine embracing the idea that you're a financial genius just waiting to emerge. How would that alter your actions? You might start reading about investment strategies, seeking avenues to enhance your income, and making more deliberate choices about your expenditures. Little by little, these actions rooted in a newfound belief would construct a new financial reality for you. This is the essence of the law of assumption. It's not about denying reality, it's about consciously selecting the reality you wish to create. And when it comes to amassing wealth, this mindset shift could be the catalyst you've been seeking. Now that we've established the foundational principles, let's explore this law of assumption further. At its core, the law of assumption posits that whatever you assume to be true will manifest in your experiences. In simpler terms, your beliefs about yourself and your surroundings shape your reality. Picture the assumptions many people harbor about money. Money is scarce, wealth requires relentless hard work, rich people are merely lucky, or I'll never achieve true financial freedom. Sound familiar? These beliefs often circulate in our subconscious without our awareness. According to the law of assumption, these entrenched beliefs actively construct our financial reality. Here's the exciting part: if negative assumptions can give rise to a bleak financial existence, then positive assumptions can engender a thriving one. What if you began to believe that money flows to me effortlessly, I always have more than enough, or I am a magnet for wealth? According to this law, if you genuinely internalize these beliefs, your reality will begin to shift to reflect these new assumptions. I can sense your skepticism. After all, it's easy to dismiss such notions as unrealistic. But the law of assumption doesn't advocate for passively waiting for money to fall into your lap. It emphasizes changing your core beliefs about wealth and prosperity, which in turn influences your decisions and actions. When you genuinely assume you are wealthy, your thought processes mirror those of affluent individuals. You make decisions that align with wealth, and you recognize opportunities that those with scarcity mindsets often overlook. Gradually, these shifts in thought and behavior pave the way for tangible improvements in your financial situation. This distinguishes the law of assumption from conventional approaches to wealth accumulation. It's not about discovering the right investment or laboring away for 80 hours a week. Instead, it's about reconfiguring your inner landscape, your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions, while observing your external reality morph to reflect this inner change. Now, here's a crucial point to grasp: the law of assumption transcends mere positive thinking. It isn't about reciting affirmations that you don't genuinely believe or coercing yourself to feel optimistic about money. It demands a deep, unwavering belief that wealth is your innate state. It requires you to feel, before you see, the reality of being wealthy. This aspect is where many people falter. It's one thing to claim, "I am wealthy," when your bank account tells a different story. It's an entirely different endeavor to embody that belief to the extent that you're not even surprised when money starts flowing into your life. So, how do you cultivate this profound belief? How do you shift your assumptions deeply enough to attract wealth effortlessly? That's the crux of our exploration. In the remainder of this discussion, we'll dive into practical techniques to harness the law of assumption in your life. We'll address the primary obstacles that trap individuals in a cycle of financial scarcity and share real-life success stories of those who've utilized this principle to revolutionize their financial circumstances. Before we proceed, it's imperative to emphasize one vital point: the law of assumption is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It doesn't involve manipulating the universe to grant your wishes. Rather, it's about harmonizing your internal world with the abundance you seek, cultivating the persona that naturally attracts wealth and success. Here's the beauty of this approach: as you start to internalize the idea of wealth and abundance, you'll likely find yourself becoming more generous, more inclined to assist others, and more focused on contributing value to the world. Genuine wealth extends beyond mere financial accumulation. It embodies living a rich life in all dimensions. So, are you prepared to delve deeper into the law of assumption? Are you ready to confront and challenge your existing beliefs about money and prosperity? If so, stay tuned, as we're about to explore transformative concepts and techniques that could redefine your financial landscape. Let's take a moment to examine the intricacies of reality itself. We've been conditioned to trust our perceptions, to believe in the tangible, to assume that seeing is believing. Yet, when it comes to wealth creation, this very reliance on external reality might be the very thing stifling your progress. The challenge with fixating on your current reality is that it can ensnare you in a cycle of limitation. Picture this: when you survey your financial landscape, what do you see? If you're like most individuals, your gaze likely falls upon unpaid bills, insufficient paychecks, and a bank account that feels more like a source of anxiety than reassurance. Each time you dwell on these realities, you reinforce the belief that this is your existence. Let's illustrate this with money. If you glance at your bank account and find it lacking, what's your immediate reaction? Anxiety about meeting your obligations might bubble up. You might feel overwhelmed or stressed. Thoughts such as "I never have enough" or "I'm hopeless with finances" may surface. Here's the twist: these very thoughts and emotions influence your behavior. You might hesitate to pursue better job opportunities because you doubt your qualifications. Investment chances may slip by because you feel you lack the means to invest. Impulsive spending could become your escape, as you think, why bother saving? This cycle becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You perceive scarcity, anticipate scarcity, and act from a place of scarcity, ultimately perpetuating. The path to financial prosperity doesn't lie in exhausting work hours, gambling on a lottery ticket, or even relying on a single magic trick. Rather, it begins within. It's about transforming your inner landscape, your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions, and watching your outer world reshape itself to reflect this new mindset. But here's the crucial piece: the law of assumption demands more than mere positive affirmations. It's not just about repeating empty phrases you don't genuinely believe or forcing a smile while thinking about money. It involves reaching a profound state where you genuinely feel that wealth is your birthright, that it's a part of your identity. You need to feel, deep in your bones, that you are wealthy even before you see any evidence of it in your external life. This is where many people falter. Saying I am wealthy is one thing when your bank account is bare. Feeling it, believing it, and living it is an entirely different journey. So how can you reach this state? How can you rewire your assumptions so thoroughly that you magnetically attract wealth? This is precisely what we're going to explore. We'll dive into practical strategies to harness the law of assumption effectively. We'll tackle the common barriers that keep individuals trapped in financial hardship, and we'll highlight real-life success stories of those who have embraced this law to revolutionize their financial landscapes. However, before we delve deeper, it's essential to clarify that the law of assumption is not a quick-fix solution. It's not about manipulating the universe to grant your wishes. It's about aligning your internal mindset with the wealth and abundance you aspire to attain. It's about evolving into the kind of individual who naturally draws in success and prosperity. Here's where it gets exciting. As you start to embody a mindset of wealth and abundance, you may find yourself becoming more generous and more eager to uplift others. You'll focus on creating value in the world. True wealth isn't merely about a full bank account, it's about living a rich life in all aspects. Are you ready to challenge your ingrained beliefs about money? Are you prepared to adopt a new, abundant reality for yourself? If so, stick around, because we're about to explore transformative ideas and techniques that can revolutionize your financial existence. The journey to wealth starts in the mind, and with the law of assumption at your disposal, you can reshape your thoughts and beliefs, and, ultimately, your financial reality. Let's pause for a moment to reflect on the nature of reality. We've been conditioned to trust what we can see and touch. Seeing is believing, right? However, in the quest for financial abundance, this very belief may be your greatest hurdle. The issue with focusing solely on your current financial situation is that it can trap you in a cycle of lack and limitation. When you glance at your bank account, what do you see? For most, it's a stark reminder of bills piling up, a paycheck that barely meets demands, and a bank balance that doesn't reflect the desired lifestyle. Each time you focus on these stark realities, you reinforce the idea that this is all there is. It's like sending a message to the universe that this is your only reality. Let's take a closer look at a common scenario. You check your account and see a disheartening balance. What's your immediate reaction? Worry? Anxiety? Thoughts spiraling into "I'll never have enough" or "I'm terrible with money"? These feelings shape your actions. You might shy away from seeking better job opportunities, thinking you're not qualified. You might overlook investment prospects because you convince yourself that you don't have sufficient funds. Or, in a moment of frustration, you might splurge on an impulsive purchase because you believe there's no point in trying to save. These reactions stem from a focus on your present situation, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. You see scarcity, expect scarcity, and thus act from a place of scarcity, leading to more scarcity. It's a relentless cycle that traps many in financial turmoil. And it becomes even more complicated when you continuously highlight what you don't want: insufficient funds, overwhelming bills, an unfulfilling job. By doing this, you amplify these issues, making them seem more prominent and significant than they really are. That's why working harder often doesn't remedy financial woes. You could clock in 80 hours a week, but if your mindset is anchored in scarcity, you may continue to attract circumstances of lack. Your outer world mirrors your inner world, and if you're filled with thoughts of deficiency, that's what your life will reflect. So, if concentrating on your current situation is the problem, what's the solution? Enter the power of imagination. Our imagination is not just for creative musings or daydreams. According to the law of assumption, it is the gateway to transforming our lives and attracting wealth. When you vividly imagine something, your mind and body react as if it's a reality. Perhaps you've experienced this before. Picturing a sour lemon makes your mouth water, or thinking of an embarrassing moment causes you to blush. Your body doesn't differentiate between reality and vivid imagination. Thus, when aiming for wealth, your imagination becomes an invaluable ally. Instead of fixating on your current financial standing, use your imagination to construct a prosperous reality in your mind. As you consistently engage in this exercise, you'll begin to feel differently, think differently, and ultimately act differently. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you have your eye on a new car but currently lack the funds to purchase it. Instead of lamenting over your inability to buy it, visualize yourself already owning it. Picture yourself seated in the driver's seat, hands on the steering wheel, experiencing the exhilaration of driving it. As you practice this regularly, something curious happens. You may start to notice that specific car more frequently on the roads. You might overhear conversations about amazing deals at local dealerships. You might feel inspired to explore new avenues for increasing your income. All these signs indicate that your imagination is beginning to influence your reality. This is why imagining your wealth isn't just idle daydreaming. It's about creating such a vivid and authentic experience of wealth that it feels normal to you. When wealth feels commonplace, you instinctively begin to make decisions and take actions that align with that feeling of prosperity. Your imagination isn't confined by your current circumstances. Within it, you can be, do, and have anything you desire. According to the law of assumption, as you embody the emotions tied to being wealthy in your mind, you start attracting that wealth into your physical world. Now, let's explore how to practically apply the law of assumption to attract wealth into your life. Here are 4 steps to help you harness this powerful law. Define your desired reality. Start by being precise about what you want. Instead of simply stating, "I want to be rich," clarify the specifics. How much money do you want? What lifestyle do you aspire to? What will you do with that wealth? The clearer and more exciting you can make your vision, the easier it will be to engage with it. For instance, instead of saying, "I want to be wealthy," you might declare, "I have $10 million in my bank account, live in a stunning beachfront property, travel the world in first class, and donate generously to my favorite causes." Create a mental movie. Once you have a clear vision, use your imagination to bring it to life in your mind. Close your eyes and visualize your dream life in as much detail as possible. See yourself waking up in your ideal home. Feel the excitement as you check your bank account brimming with funds, and imagine the joy of being able to support loved ones and contribute to meaningful causes. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, and feel? The more tangible and realistic you make this experience in your mind, the more impactful the exercise becomes. Embrace the feelings. Visualization alone isn't enough. You must also feel your imagined reality as if it's already true. This is where many people find it challenging, but it's also where the real transformation occurs. As you envision your wealthy life, allow yourself to experience the emotions associated with it: joy, excitement, peace, and confidence. If it's hard to feel those emotions tied to vast wealth, start small. Perhaps you can feel the happiness that comes with having an extra $100 in your pocket. Gradually, expand that feeling. Live it out. The final step involves integrating your imagined reality into your daily life. Start making decisions and taking actions as though you are already wealthy. This doesn't mean overspending or living beyond your means. Rather, it's about adopting the mindset and energy of a prosperous individual. For instance, a wealthy person may be inclined to invest in personal development or seek networking opportunities. Start doing these things now. When faced with decisions, ask yourself, what would my wealthy self do? And then act accordingly. Applying the law of assumption isn't a one-time event, it's a consistent practice. The more you engage with it, the more it will feel like second nature, and the more your external reality will start to shift. Initially, it may feel awkward or even ridiculous, but persistence is key. Many individuals who have embarked on this journey initially see no changes, but over time, they begin to notice small shifts that culminate in significant transformations. As you embark on this practice, remember to be patient with yourself. Change doesn't occur overnight. With dedication, you can gradually alter your beliefs about wealth and begin to attract greater abundance into your life. The essential point is to make your imagined reality feel so authentic and effortless that your current circumstances inevitably align with it. As you dive into this transformative journey, be mindful of common pitfalls that can impede your progress. Let's discuss 3 major mistakes to avoid. Imagine stepping into a car, the kind you've always dreamed of owning. The moment you slide into the driver's seat, a wave of pride and joy washes over you, making your heart race. It's not just a vehicle, it symbolizes your success, your dreams realized. As you drive, the familiar rush of exhilaration envelopes you. Each ride reinforces the vision of what you can achieve, and slowly but surely, your outlook begins to shift. You might start to see that same car on the road more frequently, as if it's been hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to notice. Conversations about car deals begin to catch your ear. You're inspired by the idea of boosting your income. These moments are not mere coincidences, they're signs that your imagination is beginning to mold your reality. This is why envisioning wealth is crucial. It goes beyond daydreaming or idle wishing. It's about crafting an experience so vivid and tangible that it feels like a part of your everyday life. When wealth begins to feel normal, your decision-making naturally aligns with that newfound perspective. The key takeaway here is that your imagination is free from the limitations of your current circumstances. In your mind's eye, you can be, do, or have anything you desire. According to the law of assumption, the more you embrace the feeling of wealth in your imagination, the more you invite that wealth into your physical existence. With this foundation, let's explore how you can effectively utilize the law of assumption to attract prosperity into your life. The first step is to define your desired reality with crystal clarity. Vague aspirations lead to vague results. Rather than simply stating, "I want to be rich," dive deeper. Specify how much money you desire, the lifestyle you aim to enjoy, and the activities you envision engaging in with that wealth. The more detailed your vision, the easier it becomes to feel it as a reality. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be wealthy," you might affirm, "I have $10 million in my bank account, reside in a stunning beachfront home, travel the world in first class, and generously support causes that are close to my heart." Next, it's time to create a mental movie. Close your eyes and let your imagination run wild with this new reality. Picture yourself living your dream life in vibrant detail. Imagine waking up in your beautiful home, feeling that rush of excitement as you check your bank account and see a comfortable balance staring back at you. Picture the ease with which you can pay your bills, the joy of taking your family on vacation without financial worries looming overhead. Engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What feelings arise? The more realistic you can make this experience in your mind, the more potent your exercise becomes. Feeling it real is perhaps the most vital step in this process. Visualization alone isn't enough. You need to conjure the emotions that accompany your imagined reality as if it were already true. This is often where individuals struggle. However, this is where the magic lies. As you visualize your wealthy life, allow yourself to embrace the emotions that would accompany it: joy, excitement, peace, and confidence. If it feels challenging initially, start small. Instead of imagining having millions, perhaps you can conjure the feeling of having an extra $100. Gradually, expand those feelings until they encompass the wealth you desire. Now, it's time to bring your imagined reality into your daily life. Begin to make decisions and take actions as if you were already wealthy. This doesn't mean spending money you don't have. Instead, it involves adopting the mindset, confidence, and energy of a wealthy individual. For instance, a financially successful person might invest in themselves or actively seek opportunities to connect with other successful individuals. Start doing those things now. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would my wealthy self do in this situation? Then, take that action. It's important to remember that applying the law of assumption isn't a one-off event, it's a continual practice. The more you engage with it, the more natural it feels, and the more noticeable changes you'll see in your external circumstances. Initially, it might seem strange or even silly, but many who have embraced this method report that, while at first nothing appears to happen, persistence pays off. You may begin to notice small shifts, which will gradually grow into larger changes. Before you know it, you might find that your imagined reality has seamlessly morphed into your actual reality. As you practice these steps, patience is key. Transformation doesn't occur overnight. With consistent application, you can reshape your assumptions about wealth, drawing more abundance into your life. The crux of the matter is to make your imagined wealthy reality feel so genuine and natural that your current circumstances have no choice but to align with it. Be wary of common pitfalls as you begin to apply the law of assumption. Doubt is one of the largest obstacles you may encounter. You might find yourself visualizing your wealthy life, feeling optimistic, only to be met by a nagging voice questioning your desires. This voice may say, "Who do you think you are? This will never happen." Such doubts can unravel the progress you've made. Remember, the law of assumption is predicated on the belief that your desires are already true. If you allow doubt to seep in, you're inadvertently affirming that your desires aren't valid. To counteract this, when doubt arises, recognize it without judgment. Simply notice the thought and remind yourself that your imagined reality holds just as much validity as your current circumstances, even if it hasn't yet manifested. Redirect your thoughts back to your desired outcome whenever self-doubt creeps in. Another common mistake is the expectation of immediate results. The law of assumption is not about magically conjuring wealth overnight. It's about transforming your entrenched beliefs and assumptions, which is a process that requires time and effort. Many people start with enthusiasm, picturing their wealthy life daily, but when significant changes don't occur within a week or two, they may feel discouraged and give up. However, noteworthy transformations often begin with subtle shifts. Instead of waking up to a bank full of money, you may notice small blessings, a complimentary coffee, a surprise refund, or a new money-making idea. These are signs that your assumptions are starting to manifest. To sidestep this pitfall, commit to practicing the law of assumption consistently for at least 30 days without fixating on specific outcomes. Focus instead on how the practice makes you feel. Often, inner shifts precede outer changes. Another common mistake is trying to determine exactly how wealth will come to you. You may find yourself obsessing over the mechanics. Will I win the lottery? Get a raise? Inherit a fortune? The issue with this line of thinking is that it limits your possibilities. When you concentrate on the how, you confine yourself to specific outcomes. Instead, remember that your subconscious mind has infinite pathways for bringing your assumptions into reality. Instead of fixating on the means of achieving wealth, shift your focus to the end result, the feeling of being prosperous. Trust that if you maintain the assumption of wealth, the right opportunities will emerge organically. Your role is not to decipher how it will unfold, but to hold steadfastly to the belief that it is happening. Having explored the common mistakes to avoid, let's turn to some inspirational success stories of individuals who utilized the law of assumption to completely alter their financial circumstances. These narratives illustrate that this concept isn't merely theoretical, it's a powerful tool for real-life transformation. Take, for instance, Sarah. As a single mother juggling 2 jobs to make ends meet, she constantly grappled with financial stress. Just when she felt on the brink of disaster, she discovered the law of assumption. Initially skeptical, she committed to trying it out. Each night before sleep, she dedicated 10 minutes to visualizing financial security. She pictured herself checking her bank balance, paying bills effortlessly, and taking her children on vacations without the burden of financial strain. At first, nothing seemed to shift. However, she persisted, and within weeks, she noticed a decline in her money-related anxiety. New opportunities began to surface, ones she hadn't previously considered. She applied for a higher-paying job that once seemed out of reach, and to her surprise, she secured it. Within 6 months, Sarah's income had doubled, and she was well on her way to the financial stability she had envisioned. Similarly, there's Mike. Mike always harbored dreams of starting his own business but felt trapped in a job he despised. With aspirations slipping away, he discovered the law of assumption and applied it to his entrepreneurial goals. Daily, Mike envisioned himself as a thriving business owner, signing lucrative contracts, enjoying profits, and reveling in the satisfaction of creating something meaningful. Months passed, and inspiration struck. He devised a low-cost startup idea relevant to his field. Summoning the courage, he left his uninspiring job and dove headfirst into his new venture. It wasn't a smooth ride, but Mike continuously aligned his thoughts with the vision of success, even when faced with challenges. Fast forward 2 years, and his business flourished, generating more revenue than he had ever earned before. These stories impart critical lessons. Consistency is paramount. Both Sarah and Mike regularly practiced the law of assumption, even when immediate results eluded them. Moreover, this law extends beyond financial gain. It shifts your mindset, enhancing your ability to recognize opportunities and find courage you never knew you possessed. Lastly, the outcomes may manifest in ways you don't anticipate. If you uphold the assumption of wealth and success, remarkable things can unfold. The subconscious mind possesses an incredible capacity to manifest your beliefs into reality, often in unexpected ways. To avoid common pitfalls, it's crucial to concentrate on the end goal, the sensation of wealth, rather than fixating on the methods to achieve it. By maintaining an unwavering belief in your assumed prosperity, the right opportunities will naturally unfold. Your role isn't to unravel the how, but to genuinely feel that your financial dreams are unfolding right now. Let's delve into some motivating stories of individuals who successfully harnessed the law of assumption to transform their financial situations. Take Sarah, for instance. A single mother juggling 2 jobs, Sarah felt perpetually trapped by financial stress. Upon discovering the law of assumption, she embraced it with cautious optimism. Each night, she dedicated a few moments to envisioning a secure financial future, imagining checking her bank balance and effortlessly managing her expenses. Gradually, she began to feel less burdened by money concerns, and new opportunities emerged. Sarah applied for a job she once deemed unattainable, and to her surprise, she landed it, doubling her income within months. Then there's Mike, who longed to start his own business but felt stuck in a dead-end job. After learning about the law of assumption, he envisioned himself as a successful entrepreneur, thriving and fulfilled. This visualization ignited a spark in him, prompting him to launch a low-cost startup in his industry. Despite challenges, Mike remained focused on his vision of success. 2 years later, his business flourished, surpassing his previous earnings. These stories highlight essential lessons: the importance of consistency in practice, the transformational power of mindset, and the potential for unexpected outcomes. As you navigate your journey, remember that doubts may arise. Acknowledge them without engaging, and reinforce your belief in your prosperous reality. The law of assumption empowers you to create not just financial abundance but a life rich in fulfillment and confidence. Copyright 2024 by AudioBooksTube. Thank you for listening. Please consider to subscribe, like, and share to help the channel grow new videos on a daily basis.